Hello, we are live. This is Rich. You are watching Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is part of the Gauntlet network and community. The Gauntlet community is an online group of friends and aficionados and fanatics of small press and indie tabletop RPGs as well as OSR RPGs. Star Wars Saturdays is an ongoing kind of living campaign where every month I choose a different RPG. Sometimes I have repeats from previous years, like I ran this in August of 2018. This system, not this particular story, because this one's gone lots of different places. It is Apocalypse World set on Tatooine, because in Star Wars Saturdays, everything is during Star Wars, during the original trilogy. We are fully into Return of the Jedi timeline. Jabba is nothing but a rotting, stinking corpse. But we are in a different part of Tatooine, not far from Mos Eisley or Jabba's palace, at a place called Mos Shuta. Mos Shuta sits up on a plateau overlooking the Tatooine desert. It has an electrified fence that helps to protect it. There are a number of thugs who work for a hut known as Timo the Hut, who keep this place safe, or at least they did. Until just recently, an Imperial officer by the name of Lieutenant Morella Muckwell showed up with 4 squads of How about 4 squads of stormtroopers in armored personnel carriers. Muckwell, after being convinced by Sundown, something that she probably wanted to believe anyway, that the Starbase Command here at Mos Shuta that controls the 2 landing pads were preparing to defend themselves from being taken over. Muckwell used a thermal detonator and invaded the starport control to shoot a lot of people. A lot of formerly Imperial people, probably corrupt or inefficient or ineffective people, but Imperials nonetheless. And that was the last scene that we saw, and all 4 of you had kind of met up at that point. So let's do a quick reminder, and then we have a little bit of stuff. So the first thing I'd like to do is have everyone introduce their characters, and then while you're going through that, do you want to ask for new highlights? I'll ask that question once everyone has reintroduced their characters. And if you could just remind us of the playbook that you have, and a name and a brief description of your character, that would be fantastic. We're going to start with Bethany. Good morning. Could you please tell us about your character?
Yeah, I am playing Sundown, the Brainer, who is a Twi'lek, who is kind of mysterious and secretive, and nobody really knows what to expect from them, and they like it that way. They recently convinced an Imperial officer to attack other Imperials, which was maybe, that's definitely not ever going to come back and bite them. I'm pretty happy with Hot and Weird, just since I seems to like things that I would use quite a bit. I'm cool with the highlighted stats.
All right, awesome. Joe, good morning. Please introduce us to your character.
Morning, I'm Joe. I'm playing Janilla Jantek, the Zeltron Skinner. Like many Zeltron, she's very emotional, very in tune with others, and cares about having fun. But she's a bit down on her luck because she was recently overthrown from her criminal kingpin, and now she's almost penniless and here in Mos Shuta, and now there's Imperials here, so it's not. But she did get to reconnect with her old companion Tella, which was it was a mixed bag.
Her old, very repressed,
very repressed.
I am curious, and if you've answered this already, I apologize that I didn't note it down. What is Janilla's chosen art? Because that's what you'd need to trigger Artful and Gracious.
Dancing, singing, like many Zeltron, very good at like entertaining.
Cool. Thank you very much, Joshua. Good morning, my friend. How are you? And please introduce us to your character.
Doing great. I'm playing Grim, the Gunlugger. He is a clone, an ex-Republic clone trooper, and also an ex-Imperial. Now he doesn't have much to do, so he lives his life as a bodyguard. Really, only works when he has to make ends meet, that kind of thing. So he's on Tatooine just because he's on Tatooine, and we'll figure out if there's a good reason for that or not.
I'm sure that we'll make a good reason. Gunluggers are always needed. Unless they are on the other side, then they're needed to be dead. Leandro, good afternoon, my friend. How are you? And please introduce us to your character.
Cool. I'm fine. Thank you very much for asking. So I'm playing the aforementioned Tella Garcenon, using the Angel playbook. She is hella repressed, sure, yeah. But she's got her reasons in that she's also an ex-Imperial. But unlike Grim, someone who probably, willingly joined up for that cause and therefore has a lot of regrets. She's left since and headed to Tatooine because she probably, someone told her that Tatooine was about as far bottom as you can get, although recent events has shown that no, it turns out Imperials just go wherever they want to, do they? So she's in a bit of a tight spot, especially with like old flames coming back and Imperials mucking around.
Those old flames, they can burn you. So real quick, for Grim and also Janila and also Tella, do any of you want new highlights? Any one person can call it, and then we just do highlights for everybody.
I'm not a huge fan of having my -2 stat highlighted, but it's also not a big problem. It's fun for role playing.
Up to you. Is that so? That's a no. You're good with highlights.
Yeah, I think I'm good with it.
Okay, Janil
Yeah, I'm good.
and Tella.
I might ask to move my highlighted sharp just because I want to see if because I rolled a lot with that.
All right, let's highlight everybody. New highlights for everyone. Yeah. That's right.
Oh, was that a cascade effect? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a cascade effect. It's A-okay. I like doing new highlights. Okay, so look on your sheet and remember the HXs have changed. So look on your sheet and figure out who you have the highest number with. That's the person that you ask to highlight one of your stats. Sundown. Who do you have? Who has the highest HX there? I think it's Grim, right?
No, it's Tella and Janella both have 2. And
then you get to pick. And I'm sorry, I was looking at Tella's thing. So Tella and Janella, who do you wish to highlight?
Let's go with Tella.
Okay. Let's highlight your hot. I want to see how a brain herb seduces people or manipulates them.
Nice. I mean, hot can be for convincing people by intimidating them too.
Yeah. Let's see how the brain herb does that.
Okay, and I'll also highlight your sharp. Janilla, who do you have the highest HX with? Tella, right?
Yep. There's that wonderful intimacy.
I kind of want to see Janella figure people out, so I want to highlight sharp.
Right. Okay. And you don't have any hard swap, right? So I want to do hard. I want you to figure people out and then do hard things. Grim, who highlights you?
Janella is the highest with me because she's pretty.
Very much so.
So,
all right. Let's see. Let's stick with hard.
So nice.
Go hard all day, all night.
I will go weird instead of that minus 2 hot there. We'll go with weird. See if you
Remember, that's
weird
the one that it has a swap for.
crap. Thank you. I always buy 2 times in a row. All right, Sharp. Let's see you figure some stuff out, because I want you to do that anyway. And Tella.
My highest is still Grim, who I trust implicitly for terrible reasons.
Implicitly.
Well,
Yeah,
he's a clone, he's reliable.
that's right. You always know I'm going to do what I'm going to do, whether it's good or bad. I think I'd like to highlight your hard because there's Imperials around and we need them to probably die.
Okay.
And then I think I will highlight your weird, just so we have some weird highlighted amongst the group. Good, very good, friends. This is so good. Oh, and I wanted to, because I don't know if you came up with this right off the top of your head, Joshua, but I wanted to write down the designation that you gave. There we go. I put it in your name there, so we
Okay.
have that. Because that was like, oh, that's so good. I write down when I was rewatching. So now we have your trooper designation. Per pre-recording conversation, Bethany, because the HX rolled over, you, Sundown, get a question to ask Grim. Do you have a question?
Well, I had one, but no, I don't. You don't have to answer this. I'll come up with a different one. But it was like, why are you on Tatooine? But since you were like, I'll figure that out later, feel free to not answer that.
I can probably think about it for a few minutes if that's okay, and then
Sure.
And it could be how you ended up here too. That's a cool thing. Awesome. I would like to know the answer to that as well. It could even be told to us in flashback. The last thing I'll say before we jump in is, friends, we have a safety tool that we utilize here. I go with the X card. There are more subtle and nuanced tools out there, but I am a blunt caveman of a guy. So I like the X card. If anything is objectionable or causes you to feel unsafe, or just causes your fun to go away, then all you need to do is you can symbol X or message me in the chat. Also on our Roll for Your Party, there's a little X card thing. If you click on the safety tools, and you can even put in information there. I am going to stop the game if you X card briefly. It's no big deal. The only thing I'm going to do is ask a question about what is it that was X carded. I'm not going to challenge you on it. I promise I will not try to talk you out of it or tell you it's no big deal, because I don't have your lived experience. And so anything that causes you to not have fun is very important to me, because us friends having fun around this virtual table is far more important than any Star Wars or any canon or any Star Wars canons, because those are laser cannons and they're just made up. Let's see. Yes, I will stay true to my words, friends, because I am an MC that loves and adores you, and I will not force you to spend lifestyle, because not enough time will pass. However, some time is going to pass, because I think it would be nice to reset the new normal, as it were. And so I would like to begin with all 4 player characters in the same place at the same time, because it blows my mind that I have the power to do that, and I think it's pretty exciting. Let's have all 4 of you currently at Trask's Cantina. But what we do to begin this particular session is that we're going to kind of a tracking shot into Star Wars, so please allow me to be a little cinematic. We have a tracking shot that comes down, and I'm going to jump over and screen share just because we have the cool map in our Roll for Your Party. And also I'm doing a tracking shot, so why shouldn't I just go whole hog? Okay, so we have a tracking shot that kind of comes up over the plateau over top of Temo's palace, and then it kind of tracks forward here, and we zoom past the barracks where a lot of formerly we would have seen many Gamorreans and Weequay kind of lazing about. There are none to be seen in the barracks. The barracks are empty. We swing around and we see a squad of stormtroopers who are currently they're currently accosting a number of Jawas here at the Jawa Traders. It looks like they are going to be locking them up and taking them to the brig. And then we come past the Off-World Traders, where normally the Off-World Traders has a lot of customers, but it is nearly empty. People have all taken to hiding out in spots that are appropriate. And then we swing down here by the bathhouse and bunkhouse, which both are pretty scant, and come into the cantina. Now I understand that by telling you guys that the Imperials are afoot, the chances are good that Tella will want to hide out. So, Leandro, I apologize, but I will give you the ability to tell me how it is that you are remaining unseen. If you have, a cool hood, or if you have some kind of helmet on, I am wide open to that. So, of course, Grim, it's easy to have you here because you are security for the place. You notice that Yara, not Yara, that is the wrong name, Yana. That's what I get for having two names that look nearly the same. Yara is the Gamorrean who works at the illegal, unauthorized Angels Infirmary. Hoshi, because originally it was Yara, but I changed to Hoshi. Hoshi is not currently here and dancing. But Trask is behind the bar, and I would assume, since you haven't quit yet, that you would still be working security at the place. I know there's so many words. Let's check in. So, Sundown, who are you sitting with when we come into this current scene at the cantina?
I think I am. I think I'm sitting alone, but watching Jamila. Like, just kind of quietly trying to blend into the shadows, because that's what I do, and like just observing.
Real quick, I'm just screen sharing. That is what that's the picture from the Moshuda that somebody had created, Moshuda supplement. So that'll be what the exterior of our cantina looks like, because that looks awesome, right?
It's cool.
I like it a lot. Awesome. So you're sitting by yourself. Janila, are you seated with Tella? Are you talking on mute, Joe? Because we don't hear you.
Stupid thing. Yeah, I guess so. Makes more sense. Since Sundown's alone, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just have to approach her later.
Oh, there you go. You should approach her later. Is it just me, or is this now, am I more zoomed in? Feels like the camera's more zoomed in on my face. Like I feel like my face is giant. I'm going to go to tile because that makes me uncomfortable, because I look like I have a giant head. Okay, good. I felt all max headroomy for a second there. All right, anyway, so Janila, Sundown City by herself, but not far away.
Yep.
And so Tella, how is it that you are here, and what do we see of you?
I think her garb when she comes out of the clinic most of the time is, she's technically a doctor of some sort, so she probably has like some sort of heavy surgical mask on, and it's not the best disguise, a surgical mask and some repurposed goggles, and she claims like sometimes her see people's biometrics better, but they're just goggles. I think she's sitting across from Janella, but way tenser than usual, more tense than usual. Like she's basically a statue, and the only movement is her head is slowly craning around like the room, just like making sure, like, it's all just familiar faces for now.
Cool. And you are not the only 4 individuals besides Trask in the cantina. There are a number of folks here. In fact, the place is a little busier than normal, because people who would normally be out selling their wares are here in a place that's at least semi-public in hopes that that would be a place to lose themselves in a crowd, as it were. And so there are a few of the Jawa who kind of snuck in here when they saw that their compatriots were being accosted. There are also, it appears that I closed the, or did I move it? Oh, there it is. Roll for your party. I lost my roll for your party. So there are also some folks from the junk shop, as well as the Dubak stables. So the individual that you see in the NPCs, Clarel, the Dubak trainer, is here. And Vorn Tel Avis, who runs the junk shop, is here. And the two of them are kind of sitting together and griping about the Imperial problems that they're having. Trask comes over to Tella, and Janila comes over to your area. He says, sorry, my server's indisposed, so I'll get your drinks. I believe 4 squads of stormtroopers. Can't believe it. What do you want?
What do you have?
He drops a data pad and says, we have a limited menu. Please don't make me use the fryer.
Some brandy or whatever.
Now, I don't know if you can quite afford the Alderani ale that we have.
No, not
Grim, you know that it's totally
not in my
fake.
current situation, not yet. But I've got some things.
Current situation.
Well, I don't want to draw the attention of outside forces into this establishment by throwing around all the credits that I have lined up. But don't
lined up.
Yeah, cool.
You're Janila, I know. I saw your posters when you were performing in Mos Eisley. Listen, I seem to be short a dancer. If you're interested in wearing a cred, I would really love it if somebody to kind of lower the mood here. I'm always worried that folks are going to scatter.
Sure. I don't know. As she's looking around, do you think you can afford me? I mean, I am somewhat a little famous.
Ooh, are you trying to manipulate him for
already and I'm just gonna name drop Timo's already reached out, so
ooh, that's good. And yeah, so Timo's Palace actually has a small cantina, but it's more like the cantina for Timo's buddies kind of thing, rather than an open establishment. So these are the people that can't quite make it up to Timo's Palace. You dropping that is definitely a thing. I'll let you manipulate him and see if you can get a little bit more credits out of him.
All right, yeah, totally. Six and a 2 plus 2 is a 10.
Wow, you're made for this stuff. He does the thing where it's like Deveronians, who are the devil-looking guys, they have sharp teeth, but they can actually retract those and show. Or no, the other way around. They have kind of
they look like
the hedgehog teeth, and then they can pop out actual sharp teeth if they want to seem more offensive or if they're more aggressive. And he makes sure to show his smooth teeth, and he says, well, I don't want to make Timo mad, but I really do need the best. To cred.
Okay. I'm it'll be. We can tell him that it was a build up before I debut for him.
Okay, so 1 cred here and now, and he'll slip that your way. And the other barter, you can drink free, you and your lady friend here.
All right. Well, my friend over there too. She's dealing with.
He looks over his sundown.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even see her there. Yeah. Okay, totally. He'll come over, and we'll say that Grim, you're nearby sundown. And he comes to your table there. What do you have? Janila's paying for you. Oh, and that's to sundown. So
this is where I completely forget every Star Wars thing I knew.
it's quite all right. You can
Whatever,
just
yeah.
make up add a space name to an actual alcohol that you find interesting, and there you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's some kind of awful Twi'lek brew that they don't have the same thing, but they have something that is awful enough to be reminiscent of it.
Nice. Yeah, they probably have some kind of brackish sweet water because you come from a desert planet as well, and they probably don't want actual alcohol on Rylak because that dries you out. So I like that. So yes, of course we have plenty of that. I've served many a Twi'lek, and so he will take off and bring that alcohol your way. So
Excellent.
Tello, what are you doing? Leandro, Tello, what are you doing?
I was just watching that exchange with Janelle Trask, and I think an eyebrow somehow managed to raise themselves over the goggles. And it's just, I forget there's really nothing you can't slip into, Janella. I think she just says quietly I forget there's nothing you really can't slip into, Janella.
Don't you know it?
So you're down for making yourself, well, not a target, but making a show of yourself while Imperials are around, or just,
Well,
I don't know, what's the play here?
Imperials are just as easy to manipulate as everyone else.
You've had experience with that, I assume.
Well, I mean, from a whole planet with experience of it. Why do you think they've constantly failed every time they try to invade?
Because this planet isn't worth invading. I'm sure.
No, not this planet. My home planet.
Oh,
yeah.
I think Tedda's a bit struck by that because, she never really asked you about your home planet.
Yeah.
Oh, so if I ask, then you must have a dozen tales of daring do of fighting back the Imperial menace.
Well, there's less fighting and more just a sense of pleasure that they all just give into.
I've never heard of the Galactic Empire just shucking their kecks off, so to speak.
Well, so you know how I'm very good at persuading people to give in to things. Imagine a planet of people like me.
That's honestly the most terrifying thing you've ever said. Galaxy can only hope that there's only one planet like yourselves.
As far as I know.
But yeah,
But
what's the play here? Are you building yourself back up again?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you saw how I came in. That's not how I'm going to go out. Plus,
good luck.
if we get Timo on our side, he's pretty powerful, so he can help us deal with the Imperials. Because they don't want to start a war with the local mob.
Out of character, I'm going to ask a bit more about Timo. What's he like?
Cool. So Timo is a Hutt. Timo is has been in charge of Mos Shuda for a few decades. He Mos Eisley is pretty close to Jabba's palace, so Mos Eisley is kind of considered, if anyone had a overlord, it would be Jabba, or would have been Jabba back in the day. And if Mos Eisley is Chicago, Mos Shuda is like a suburb that grew to a point where the person running the suburb felt angry at Chicago. And so Timo's most distinguishing feature is that he hated Jabba so very much. And he just wanted Mos Shuda to kind of reach the level of challenging Mos Eisley. And he's been working towards that for 20 years now. Like, both landing bays exist because he had them installed, even though Mos Shuda doesn't necessarily have any of the industry to prop it up. And he has his own palace because Jabba has a palace. He hires Gamorreans who often are fired from Jabba and survive from working for Jabba. So yeah, that's Timo's main thing, is that anyone who comes in and talks trash about Jabba is going to be on Timo's good side, pretty much. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think probably Tell would know all about this. She stuck around with Shooter for a while.
She would.
Yeah. So I think Tell just sighs and says, Timo support would be nice. But haven't you heard lately? Hot Lords are endangered at the moment. If
I don't know about that, but that's something that I will find out when we talk to him. But if you'll excuse me, I have to go to work now. She brazenly it definitely makes you uncomfortable, like kissing you on the cheek, probably.
Yeah. She's no, she doesn't stiffen at that, but it's more like, okay, fine, all right. It's more like all right, sure. And she'll go to the data pad, probably the Trask left, and not look at Janella. Not look at. She's looking.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Looking. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's going to be a tall order there. Janella is a Skinner, so she is made for such things. Cool. So
and I'm also still hypnotized.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta spin that hold, man. What are you doing? Cool. Grim. What are you doing right now? What are you up to?
I think Grim actually walks over as soon as Janella gets up, walks over to the booth that Tella is at, and sets his blaster on the table and sits down across from Tella and eyes Tella, meets her eyes and says, "What the hell are you doing here?"
Not allowed to partake in Mos Shuda's well, calling this place as Crown Jewel is saying a lot, but I'm allowed to get out of the office every now and then, Grim.
That's not exactly what I mean. Muckwill is here.
I think Tella's eyes, you can see right now, goes kind of widen. Muckwell? Well, that explains the explosion. Are you sure it was Muckwell?
Oh, I am very sure.
Well, shit. You haven't run into her face to face, have you?
Oh, I have, and she's probably coming here.
Damn. I would rather. Did she say why she was here?
I couldn't get that out of her. But it's not good for either of us. Excuse me.
No, absolutely not. Although I'd rather not test that out. Can we find out why she's here and just deal with it? So she'd rather not be here.
What do you suggest? Like helping her out? To get her out of town?
Yeah. The goal would be to get her out of town. But I'm open to suggestions, but I don't think, well, I think there are subtler ways to get Imperials out, and it's usually the easiest ways to give them what they want. Now, if it's control over this little, pile of rocks, but I can't see why they'd want that. So they must want something else.
Well, I know Sundown spoke with her a little bit, but I don't know what came of that. She didn't look too
Yeah.
happy entering into the space control station, though.
No, none of that explosion had anything to do with her, which knowing Buckwell, she probably did. What about you? Did you have any ins with her? If not with Muckwell, then with her unit, or whatever unit she brought along with her?
No, that was one I tried to stay away from.
All right. Well then,
I don't think she recognized me, but she definitely knew what I was.
it's not hard to tell. You only ever look like one person.
Comes with the territory.
All right, so if can't winkle out what the Imperials want, then maybe it is whatever's in this town. You probably see a lot more people than I do, Grim. You haven't seen anything that would draw Imperial eyes to this place.
Maybe I could make a roll.
Cool. So, what are you looking to ascertain or understand?
I think just from being at the cantina so much, I'm wondering if there's anything that Grim remembers that might lead him to understand why
Oh,
Lieutenant Muckwell and 4 squads of stormtroopers suddenly showed up.
it sounds to me like you might, maybe, be. Rich is making sure he says the right name because he knows in his head what he's about to ask for. He just can't remember the actual name for it. Open your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom.
Oh, I mean, I was thinking about just reading a sitch, but that one's worse, so we could go that way.
Yes.
And you can roll sharp with it and get XP.
Is that?
Oh, hard. Sorry, hard.
Is that? I thought that was when you're in battle.
Oh, only in battle. I see. I
Yes.
see that. That's 3 letters.
Yeah, this is very inadvisable for me, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Good. I admire your moxie, Grim.
Okay, here we go. That's a 2. That's a 2.
Oh, and I almost highlighted your weird. If only I'd done that, you would have gotten an XP regardless, but I sadly did not. So you think back to everyone coming and going, Grim, and try to put the pieces together. And you, as you're doing so, 6 stormtroopers come to the entrance of the cantina. One of them has the orange shoulder pad that designates that he is a sergeant, and he's got half of his squad with him. They come in, and the music stops. There's no live band playing here. Trask can't quite afford that anymore. The last band took off for Mos Eisley, and Timo's still mad about it. But they pipe in music, and the music stops, and the stormtroopers look around, and the one in the front, he's got one of those long barrel rifles just over his shoulder. It's very slightly out of Imperial regs, you would notice, Grim. And the one with the orange shoulder pad, he points straight at you, and you hear, "You need to come with us, clone." What do you do?
I stand up from the table, put my pick up the flechette launcher that I had sitting next to me. It's not, combat ready, just held in one hand, like that, and walk over to them.
Yeah, you pick up the flechette and immediately to the troopers who are in the back, like with their little their blaster carbines. They don't exactly aim it right at you, but it is on the ready. They are twitchy. They are nervous. They know that they were hastily trained and thrown into this thing, and you are a clone trooper who's been around for decades.
Yeah, so I walk right up, uncomfortably close to the lieutenant or whatever his rank is, and I guess sergeant, and say, "What's this about?"
Lieutenant Muckwell wants to talk to you, he says.
I already spoke with her once today. I think that's enough.
Clone, I think you misunderstand. It was not a request. It is a demand. It could totally be when Janila comes out, starts dancing. That sounds amazing to me. Oh, you're still muted, Joe.
I hate that.
You're still
okay. You're right. I have a thing. Yeah, I was like, this is perfect for craziness. So the music starts again as like she comes out, like detail wise. She used her skin and hair kit to get +1 hot forward. So
nice.
And she's basically got like
you're in the green room, which on the map is a closet.
Yeah, like it's like basically like belly dancer's car. Probably like nothing as fancy as Timo's probably got, or what she used to have. But like, yeah, of course, like she starts like singing along to the music as like she's dancing around. She gets like goes, of course, straight up to the stormtroopers as like she's peeling off like scarves and whatnot. So everyone is forced to watch, but I'm gonna exclude my friends, Tella, Grim, and Sundown, so they aren't like so like dumbfounded that they can like act otherwise. But also like I'm performing my chosen art, so I should probably roll that, right?
That's right. So you're arresting Skinner. You remove some scarves, and
like
there you come
down to show off my intricate tattoos. They're new from between games.
Ooh, nice.
Well, not sessions, but
we update the picture. So
yeah. So yeah, roll hot, which is now I got a +1 forward. So
nice. Good luck. He's got
well. There's a 13 then.
Holy cats! 110 plus
+1.
Spend 3.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, it looks like your copy, the TH's got jacked, so it says is person, but that's supposed to be this person. In the move. Sorry, I'm fixing it. What do you want? What choices do you want to make here?
Let's see. What's good? Hold spend 3. Oh yeah, this yeah. I feel like the sergeant, right, or the lieutenant, or whatever he is.
He's the sergeant. Yeah, these guys. None of these guys are officers. There's one officer here. Is Lieutenant Muckwell.
Yeah, this person is totally now in love with me.
Nice.
I don't have a patron, do I?
We're going to call him, just so you have it, and I'll stick him in the NPCs and places. But since he's in love with you, Sergeant Grome, Grome, Sergeant Grome is now in love with you.
They must give me a gift. And let's see. I guess, yeah, I have my services.
Sergeant Grome needs to have your services?
Well, like, I want it to be like type of thing, like, oh, like, we've got to, like, bring you back to entertain for like the Imperials, basically.
Nice. I like that.
I want to use it as a way to meet his superior.
Love it. It's true. So yeah, it's the thing where you dance, everything pauses. Sundown, you see this ethereal power that Janila has.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Once I can like tear my attention away from Jamila, which takes a little bit, I want to read Sergeant Grom.
Nice.
And I can roll weird for that.
Yeah, he can see you. So
Yep. Okay, where did I put the? I know I have roll for your party open. There it is. I'm glad I could roll weird for that because it's a 7.
Squeak. And do not forget. Oh no, nobody's highlighted your weird. All
My
right.
weird's not highlighted.
Our best stats.
No, so sad. No XP for you guys. Good. So with a 7 on read a person, you get 1 question. I will drop the questions into chat if you need them.
I have them right here.
Okay, great.
So it seems like Janila's already sort of getting him to like probably not forget about Grim, but at least like taking his attention off. But I want to know how I can get like him to just take his squad and leave. With or without, I mean, they can go with Janila, but yeah,
Sweet.
without Grim, basically. I want them to, when they go, I want them to not take Grim.
Good. Okay, so that's great that you use weird, because I think it kind of opens up how read a person could work for Sundown, which allows me to answer this. How could you get Sergeant Grom to leave without Grim? I just realized Grom and Grim. That was a poor choice of mine, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Sorry, I was grabbed the name off of the name sheet and didn't even think about the implications. I'm the worst. If you were to tell him who the rebel supplier is hidden somewhere in Mos Shuta, or give him a strong indication of where to find them.
Huh. Okay. Is there someone I really don't like here? Let me look at that NPC list here. Who do I have a problem with?
You're a hateful brainer. I'm sure you can.
Yep, sure am. I'm sure there's someone that is a problem for me. I'm just trying to. Acevedo?
Ooh, the Trandoshan who is the gun supplier?
The weapons. Yeah. Yep. He seems like a real obvious choice here.
Cool.
He might, in fact, actually be supplying weapons to rebels along with everybody else, because he doesn't care, I'm sure.
Nope. Cool. So, yeah, if you communicate to Sergeant Grom that a rebel supplier is Acevedo, then he's going to drop everything and head that way. Well, he may not drop Janila, but because she's got her own request, but he would not make Grim come with him at this time.
Right. Yeah. So I think I'm going to kind of just sidle up to him and say, hey, so
he looks over you, but you're here and he has to acknowledge you, but he's way more interested in Janila.
Right. That actually works for me, because I'm playing this as I don't really want him to, and I actually don't really want him to take that much notice of me, but I think I just write it down and slip it to him, so that once he manages to tear his gaze away from Janila, he'll see this.
Nice.
And it just has his name on it and weapons dealer.
Cool. Yeah, he doesn't exactly acknowledge it, but he does grip the piece of paper in his hand. By the way, think about the original Star Wars movies. Do you ever see a piece of paper?
No, I
always found that fascinating. Everything was data pads and stuff. I'm not countermanding it. This is our canon. I'm totally cool with it. It's a cool thing. It's just
like a scrap of something. Maybe it's not paper even. Maybe it's just a a plastic wrapper or something.
You're successful in the thing you wanted to do. It's just this weird little trivia thing that I thought was neat.
True. I realized that as I was saying it.
It's cool. You got it. It's good. Good. So, Janila, how long do you perform before you kind of allow Grom to take a breath and return to the real world, as it were?
Like I'll finish my set before like I like, and then like of course make sure to drink more, try and encourage doing the job of trying to get everyone like. Well, I've definitely made them all thirsty.
Make Trask a little money, so he yeah, that sounds good. Good. So if you're gonna go on for a bit, do the whole set, I'm gonna check in. I'm sorry, say again.
That was a great joke. You just talked right over it. I made them all definitely thirsty.
I'm sorry, I talked over that. That was worth bringing back up. Thank you. Yeah. Tella, what are you doing during this set? You are not held by Janila's spell, although any more than you would normally be. What are you doing? All those stormtroopers are just right near you.
Yeah, I think while their gaze is held and everyone's attention's on Grim and Sundown, everyone's kind of doing their job for me. I am just gonna slip away.
Cool. Okay. Let's. I think with what's going on, yes, you're set up. I don't need a roll from you to do that thing because luckily the people are helping you with that. So where do you want to go? Why don't you slip out?
I think the let's see. Let me look at this map. I think the instinct was probably like to go to where the explosion happened, to see if people needed help there, but I don't think I heard anything about any injuries or anything. So did I hear what Sundown said to Sergeant?
Sure. Yeah, you guys were seated near each other, so I think if that's the thing you wanted to eavesdrop, I think you could.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'll go to where the explosion happened, but I think on the way there I'll stop by Acevedo's weapons.
Ooh.
And yeah, I think I want to know for myself if is there any rebel nonsense happening here. I mean, Sundown could be right, could be wrong. But,
nice. Okay, so I'm imagining then you slip out from the cantinas where I assume we're looking at the map together, and maybe you go kind of shantytown side to slip through those back alleys to get to Acevedo's weapons near the slag works. Is that what you were seeing in your head? That way you can stay away because you know that the main thoroughfare that goes from Electrogate and kind of over top to past the medical center, there's a lot of visibility and there are quite a few stormtroopers. There are 4 squads worth of stormtroopers in Mos Shuda, and that means that they're canvassing the place. You see them working in pairs, and they're kind of combing the area. But you're able to slip past them and make your way into Acevedo's weapons. So Acevedo is a Trandoshan. Those are the lizard guys. They're quite tall. And you see in Acevedo's, the place smells like gun oil. Along one wall is just in pegs all of these ancient weapons. He's got slug throwers. You could maybe recognize a gun because it's Star Wars, right? You recognize a gun from like modern times, like an AK-47. This like a slightly different modified thing. There's one weapon that's probably just a camera tripod, but it has a sight added to it. And there are another of very scary looking weapons that certain folks probably have the action figures that use them there. Acevedo's he's got a really nice chair. It's one of the few creature comforts he's afforded himself. The place is not that busy. There's probably like 3 or 4 folks here. There's a Rodian here. In fact, you recognize the Rodian who is here and is kind of trying to argue his way down to get a cheaper weapon. It's Yaga, the Rodian who runs Baba's Grill. And he's trying to talk Acevedo into, come on, listen, hey, maybe I'll lease it. Maybe I don't need the gun. I just lease it for a brief period of time. For personal protection. I just lease it. Here, look, I got 2 creds right here. And he says, no, 2 creds won't even, just get out of here. Get out of here. And he sees you come in and he seems relieved, like, yes, a new customer to talk to. And he says, go away. What do you need?
I think Tyler just like looks around. So we've probably not talked much, me and Acevedo, because why would
I don't imagine. Yeah.
Nah.
Would he recognize you?
Probably. I think. I mean, depends if he probably deals under the table, so to speak. So he probably knows that there is an illegal med facility around here, making sure people are patched up.
Because he may have even. He says, "Hey, Garcenin. Not that I'm asking for anything, but I've sent some people your way. I heard you took care of them."
Well, that's my job, Acevedo. Send them along, I send them back. One big stupid cycle.
Wow, that's how I keep my customers around, right?
Well,
you need something? Imperial's here. You decide a little protection's warranted. Heard you had a couple of Gamorreans working for you. Aren't they doing it?
Oh, they're sweet, but they're not. I wouldn't use them as blaster shielding, if you get my drift. No, I was here to just. I'm looking less for protection but more. You know what I do? I watch out for people, and you might have some attention blowing your way soon.
I've got all my licenses. I've paid the right dues. Not selling anything that there's no disintegrators here. I can't close up shop.
Do you think the Imperials will give a druck on what kind of customs you have?
You're probably right. Okay.
I mean, there has to be a reason why they're interested in you. I think I'm trying to read him.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of looking around. You can see this is free. I'll still let you read a person, but he's kind of looking at what stuff would I need to grab if I'm just going to close up shop right now. Let's have you read that person, though.
Cool. All right. Roll that. That's a 9.
You get 1 question.
Cool. All right. I'm just gonna straight up. Actually, no. I think Tela kind of mentions is there any reason their attention would drift to you? We all know Imperials these days, they're quite caught up in that war of theirs, the rebellion.
Hey, if there's a rebel that bought a gun off me, maybe they did, but I don't know about it.
Okay. Is he telling the truth?
He is.
Oh, okay. All right. So then probably Tella probably thinks okay. So either Sundown is misplaced or they're throwing someone.
Because he gets this metal crate and he puts it up and he starts kind of loading a few guns into the crate. And Yaga's like, hey, you just want to throw one my way if you're leaving? Shut up. Don't you have a grill to run?
I think Tella's looks out for a bit and says, well, I believe you. And
it does my heart good. Both of them. Listen, I guess you came here because you're looking for a way out too. I got a speeder.
Well, the thing is, Acevedo, if you know a worse place to like fall into, then sure, hook me up. But unlike you, my commitments are harder to wind down. But I am looking for a way out.
Okay. Well, step one, stop caring about people so much. Shuts the crate. We're closed! Get out!
Got any tips on that step?
Get into a fight with the person you care about.
That shouldn't be too hard then. All right, well, hopefully I'll see you around, but definitely stay low. This all might blow over.
Listen,
Actually,
I'm going to be scarce, but if you need to get in contact with me, there's a Jawa down in Shanty Town by the name of Khufu who'll know how to get hold of me. All right?
that sounds ideal. Oh, actually, before you go, maybe something to work on. You're not supplying rebel stuff. I believe you that. Do you happen to think of anyone who might?
I mean, if we're traders, I don't know how they stay in business. Maybe. I mean, have you seen the druck they sell?
Ugh. They sold me what it's called a Kelso tank once, which is like, they said it was vintage.
Mhm.
Didn't tell me it was 500-year-old vintage.
Bengara's a slimo. If I were to finger anybody, it'd be Bengara.
I'll keep that in mind, Acevedo. Take care of yourself.
Cool. And he's like finished up, and he's got this huge crate, with a handle, like a giant suitcase type thing, and it's on wheels. And he goes and he starts pulling down the little corrugated metal, it's kind of slather, front door type thing. Because he's get out, and then that's when you hear, hey. And there's a pair of stormtroopers are walking quickly around the corner. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make my way. Oh man, there's not many places to go. No, I think I'll risk going to where I was meant to be going, which is where the landing site is.
Ooh, nice. I think you need to do something under fire here.
Oh yeah. All right, so rope was cool.
Yep.
Oh wow, my cool is really good. That's a 9.
9, awesome. So here is the deal. On a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. You can get away, but only if one of these stormtroopers recognizes you. Or you can be captured and hope to stay under, like, maybe Acevedo's the one who gets in trouble and you can skate out of here free and clear.
No, I think Tella is a bit more altruistic like that. I don't know if she wants, she don't want to Acevedo under the bus. But so yes, I think I will escape, but yes, the stormtroopers will probably know. Yeah. We'll
Cool.
see.
Yeah, so you take off right as you hear the sound of a stunner blaster go off. And they stun Acevedo, and then they're going to drag him away.
Oh, shit.
Cool. So let's swing back to the cantina. And you have released everyone from, you've done your set, Janila, and we see Sergeant Grom. He looks at the little strip of leather and he calls it in. And you're leaning against the bar now. Grome comes over
He's
after
totally
you.
got like one of the scarves around over his orange thing.
Yeah. He's
Shoulder
going to
pad.
keep that. That's
Yep.
a scarf that will go in his very small area that he calls his own personal space. He'll fold it like 26 times. So he comes over and says, I've heard about Zeltrons, but I've never seen one of you before.
Well, I'm happy to be your first. What can
Muckwell would like to
what
see
can we
you
get
perform.
you? Muckwell? Who's that?
Our lieutenant. She is in charge of Moshuda right now.
Oh. Well,
She
that's
would. You
nice.
would please her.
But what about you? As I'm trying to read a person.
Nice. He's very
highlighted.
hesitant, but you will roll dice. Unfortunately, I am on duty.
Oh, there's a 3.
Unfortunately, I am on duty. What is your name?
Janella Jantek.
Janela Gentek. And then he goes, and remember, you failed. He goes and he pulls out a little data pad.
Anyway, so
You get to ask a question anyway. That's right, but be prepared for the worst.
Let's see.
Oh, don't forget to mark XP for that.
Oh, I did.
Okay, good.
Let's see. Be prepared for the worst. How could I get your character to, get me to perform for your entire regiment?
Oh, nice. So the answer is that you don't really have a choice about that. He's about to
All right.
make that happen, because he's looking you up on his data pad by your name and designation, and he says, "You are Janela Gentek? I need you to come with me, please."
Oh. Okay. He still has to get me a gift, though.
Yeah, he's about to give you a gift.
I have to see it as a gift.
No. It's no.
Okay.
I'm not that kind of MC. No.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Grim, it looks like the
all
sergeant.
according to plan. It's all good.
Okay, the troopers are about to leave, and it looks like they're taking Janela and not you.
I'm 100% fine with that. She knows what she's doing. I think I walk over to where Sundown is sitting, and I think I left my other 2 guns in the same booth that Sundown's at. So I'll kind of lean over and start picking those up and look at Sundown and say, "I'm headed to Timo's if you want to come."
All right, sounds good to me. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this. And I'll walk past Trask and just say, "I'm off." Not really a question, just a statement. And keep walking after the stormtroopers leave.
Yep, I'll join you.
Trask will say, "I can't believe they didn't blast you."
Me neither, to be honest, but I'm glad.
Yeah, strange that. Seems like they forgot all about you.
Indeed. Cool. So I'm about to. I forgot that there's a Timo Palace map. I didn't forget. I didn't know for sure if we'd need it. I'll definitely have it in for later. But let me show it to you guys just so you have it for future reference. It looks like a giant shell laying on a seashore. There are fortified gates, which you would probably recognize because he got the exact same architect to build this palace that did Jabba's. And then there's a really beautiful, opulent, grand hallway here. And then you get led into Timo's throne room where he has his little platform, his palanquin, his floating palanquin, and people are on different levels there. And there is the cantina bar and his and this is where he holds court, as it were. There are a number of places where people can sleep and stay here, in a full kitchen, and there's and of course, behind the scenes are where he gets stuff, and they have a workshop. And believe it or not, Timo does not torture droids, because that's something an imbecile like Jabba would do. So that's the layout for Timo's palace. So you get let out, Janila, by Sergeant Grome, and he tells his troops to go ahead, and walks with you. And after his troops are kind of out of sight, he pulls his helmet off, and you get a look at him, and he's not a clone trooper. He doesn't look anything like Grim. He looks pretty young. The modulation of his helmet kind of threw off the timbre of his voice. He's maybe 20, 21 years old. He's got the high and tight. You see that he's got like right here by his eye, he's got one particular tattoo, like some kind of imperial tattoo. Like he's a lifer. He is in it. And he's in good shape. This is his thing. He is into the military. He has earned his way up. And he looks down at you, and he says, Janila, the readout for the activities here are very suspicious. That you were in Mos Eisley and were identified as a member of the criminal organization, the Underworld. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. It's not good. I can refile this.
Oh, that would be. And like as she steps closer, like hands on his shoulders, I'd be ever so indebted to you.
It's obvious to me that you're just a dancer, and this is a false report. So I will.
I had to work for who I had to work for. Sometimes we don't have choices in these matters.
I understand that. Muckwell she's trouble. She is very unhinged. I do not understand why Darth Vader has chosen her as one of his attack dogs. The things that she has asked us to do, Janila. This is not what I serve the Empire for.
And what do you serve them for?
It brings peace and stability to the galaxy. Make sure there's a proper order. There are people who need us, especially a backwater planet like this with no law, no regulations. Might makes right here. We can help Mos Shuda become a more organized and stable place. There are people who are starving. Have you seen on the streets?
I guess I want to try to read him again. Like,
okay.
Like I wanted to seduce him, manipulate him, but I'm like, now that he's talking, I'm like, I got to see what this guy's actually like.
Okay.
Well,
I'll give you a +1 forward. He's in love with you. He's opening up to you right now.
Well, this +1 forward takes me from a 7 to an 8. So
okay, that means nothing. But hey, good for you.
I'll take it. So get that other XP. So read a person again.
Yep.
I mean, I
don't feel like you're spamming it though. This is, something has changed in this relationship for you to read him.
Yeah, like this guy started opening up to me. So like,
yeah,
I feel like I'll ask it just to be sure. Is your character telling the truth?
Yeah.
All right.
He is.
Well, there's my hold. So.
Okay.
But so yeah, like as the scene goes on, like as I try to talk to him, I want to get like, and how would you instill order here? Is compared to your superior?
The Empire has a bad reputation in a lawless place like this, but First of all, the fact that there are moisture farmers so far away, a water tower, and he just starts like laying out a little bit of like infrastructure, and it's really boring.
But apparently truthful. So I'm like, I don't know the logistics of this, but okay. So interesting.
Yeah, his basically thing is like we would, and his stuff is like, you get that there's this like inherent speciesism there of like, of course we'd have to take care of so and so undesirables, and we would need to make sure that this, and like there's a little bit of that hints in, but he doesn't even recognize that as a bad thing. It's just so ingrained in his thought process. But he really feels like he would be bringing order to Mos Shuda if he were in
like,
charge.
all right, he's pretty good. Then I'm like,
it's like he's pretty good, but like there's just these little slivers that like if someone could guide him to the right thing, but yeah, he's still a product of his culture.
Yep. All right then.
Cool. And then eventually you will end up at where Muckwill is staying, which is at Spaceport Control.
All right.
You see that they are still finishing. A bit of time has passed. You see they have a brand new door there. You can see that it was like custom cut to fit into the gaping hole that was placed by the well, you weren't aware, but yeah, that's where the gun went off, or the thermal detonator was set off. And when you come into Spaceport Control, you see that they have taken over. Here I've got a map of that because I love Mos Shuda and I love maps. So you come up the steps here, and when you come around, you see the main control room. There are all Imperial troopers here. They've got an entire squad that's running this place now. And then here in the office is where Grom brings you, and you see none other than Lieutenant Muckwill. And you also see, with a collar around her neck and a thin chain that leads from the collar down to the electro whip that is set casually on her desk, Hoshi is standing there with a collar around her neck, and she's not dancing. She's just standing there looking kind of miserable. And Muckwill sees you, and who are you? And Grom says, this is Janila Gentek. She is a fabulous entertainer from the cantina. I thought that you would want to meet her.
As I like curtsy before her or whatever, I'm flattered that your lieutenant thought so highly of me. I would be honored to perform for you. I feel that my dance might be more suited to your taste, as she eyes the electro whip and desires, as she motions towards the kink that's clearly going on here.
Cool.
Isn't it far more enjoyable to have a willing participant than a forced?
Ooh, nice. It sounds like you're trying to manipulate her to let Hoshi go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, if that's not what your intent was, it just sounded like
I don't want
weird.
this poor girl in chains. So
okay.
So that is 8.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, then sorry, Rich will jump over.
NPCs, they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first.
Yeah, I think the
I have an idea, and it's
suggest
dark, but if there's like another collar, like Janela just puts it on herself willingly.
Wow. Okay, that is concrete assurance.
You go in deep. This is some spy level stuff.
Nice. As she says, Grom, take this Umbaran with you and leave us. And Grom hesitates for a moment because he is worried about that. You can feel that tension that he does not want to leave you alone because he's in love with you. What do you do? Like you feel like he may actually disobey orders right here and now, but that would not go well.
Oh, I'm not going to get in the way. I want to see what he does because that might cause. I want to see what happens, actually.
Okay, cool. So he does pick up the chain, but he says, I will escort out the Mbaran. But this woman is not a prisoner. Sorry, he would say this female. This female is not a prisoner. And Michael says, not yet. Grom, you have a very important decision to make. Your entire career rides upon this decision. I have given you a direct order to leave my office. Are you refusing to obey that order? And Grom removes his helmet. He doesn't seem threatening. He seems very calm.
So to quick interrupt, is this a good time to read a situation?
Why, yeah. I think that this could be a situation, a charged situation.
Yeah. It definitely feels charged.
Cool.
There's a 9 total.
Nice. So you get one question. Look at you. You're gonna level up from sharp.
Did reading per people give me +1 forwards? No, damn it. All right. So 9. Ask one question. Well, this is tough.
Let me cut away from you?
Yes.
All right, cool. So we cut away. I'm worried about Tella. I don't want to forget you for too long, so I want to check in with you to see where you are headed. You've just escaped from Acevedo being arrested by the Imperials. By the way, that Imperial has not been brought to Muckwell. Just to be clear. That prisoner is not Imperial, but that prisoner has not been brought to Muckwell yet. But I'm curious, Tello, where are you headed? Where do you want to go?
Would she have noticed, like, how would that be said that one of those Imperials recognize her?
I think it's one of those where he calls out your actual name. What is that?
Ooh, it's I had it written down. Write it down. It's Arya Sunfell.
So that's Arya.
I think I hear that. It's like, shit.
And I think that trooper like takes off from trying to capture Acevedo, and he chases. You lose him, but he straggles away from the rest of his little troop there to try to find you. But then you lose him. Do you lose him? Like maybe you run past the power station, or do you run into the slag works? Where do you end up?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that I was trying to make my way to where the explosion happened, which she mentions.
That's back at Spaceport Control. That is seriously like huge Imperial presence. You can, but like,
that's fine.
Okay.
So I think I'll try to lose him around the power station.
Cool. Yes, you circle back, maybe past Baba's Grill, and you end up near the medical center. Now, the medical center which is right by Spaceport Control. They know you, right? They've got to be aware.
Yeah, I think I think maybe I worked there for a bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. Let's say that there is a Togruta who works there, who you know, and they are friendly towards you. It's up to you if you're friendly towards them, because you probably don't trust them, because you don't trust anybody. And we'll say that their name is Doro Law. So Doro Law is outside talking with a couple of stormtroopers, and that's where you see, oh yeah, they are all over the place. But Dorla, eventually the troopers walk back towards spaceport control, and you see they're kind of milling about, stretching their neck. They look tired.
I think I'll walk to Dorla and just kind of like quietly ask, have you been getting much hassle with them?
Dorla knows that you are running an infirmary and not exactly authorized, and also don't seem to like Imperials, I think, right? I think Doro understands that. So they don't exactly acknowledge you because that would draw attention to you, but they glance over and kind of lean against the wall. Yeah. 4 squads of stormtroopers always cause trouble. People getting hurt. I've heard that they killed a few Jawa earlier. There's not much I can do.
Sir, did they say what they're here for?
Yeah, just talk to those two. There's evidently some rebel sympathizers here, they think. I told them that there's nothing organized if it's true.
It's not really much of a... That won't really deter them.
No, they can't leave until they find somebody to pin it on. Now it's just a question of who ends up on their druk list.
Well, they've already taken Acevedo, so...
I can't say I'm heartbroken about that, but
Neither am I.
Somebody will come fill that spot too.
I think Tella kind of looks around, sees if there's anyone there, and it's like, so they really just need someone. Just any sort of big enough name, and then they'll leave Mashuda alone.
Yeah. But it's a death sentence. If this person is not going to the spice mines of Castle, they are going to die. I'm not in the mood to put someone's name on the red list. You shouldn't either. Dorla looks over. That is not what we do. I know you don't follow the regs, but I know you do good work. It's not what we do. This will blow over. We tend to the needy. We help the sick.
But how much longer it'll take before it blows over? You already said Jawa's dead. Acevedo's captured. Well, who cares about him? But there are people here who will be trampled if nobody does anything.
We could go talk to Muckwell. She's the lieutenant in charge. Maybe she'll see reason.
I think Dorla sees Tella cringe at the name Muckwell. And I think she's come to the decision. She says, no, there's no need for that. Just stay where you are and do what you do best, Dorla. I'll talk to Muckwell.
Be careful.
I have a name. You were good to me when I first came here, Dorla. I just want to say that goodwill, well, I hope it was paid forward to everyone else.
Of course.
I think not to tell us not a hugging type. She'll just nod and make her way to the spaceport.
I think Dorla would like reach out and put a hand on your shoulder, like needs to have that physical connection for a moment, like maybe even stops you from walking away and say, "May the force be with you."
I think Thanos reaches a hand and squeezes the hand that was on her shoulder, and walks to the spaceport control.
Okay, cool. Let's take our mid-game bio break. We'll pick up at Timo's Palace. It is 41 after. Let's take a nice long 9-minute break. So we'll see you guys at 10 minutes till. And I need to go find a thing because otherwise this will stop playing. So I will be here for a moment doing that thing. But you guys take your break.
You're muted.
Hello and welcome back. And of course, as soon as the break ends is when my wife sends me a text from the bedroom saying, I need a favor. So I may have to
Still
take
live,
another 2-minute
so
break to help her.
No problem.
Yep,
no
we're still
problem.
live. It works.
I'm gonna promote that podcast for everyone.
It
There,
works.
Mission to Zix. It's very funny.
You should-
Improvised comedy podcast, which is heavily inspired by Star Wars. They have
I've heard good things. I actually had heard of that recently. I heard it was pretty
Okay.
funny.
space instead of the Force. It's the space. Instead of lightsabers, it's wood sabers. But they're just sticks. They're literally just branches of trees. It's very funny. Like it starts off just like, all right, this is kind of funny, but then it gets heavy plot wise, sort of like Archer and Venture Brothers did.
Nice. All right, welcome back, everybody. So I had said we would pick up at Temo's palace. Remember from the map that Temo's palace looks like a big seashell by the seashore, except this is in a desert, so no seashores here. And I'm curious, Sundown, are you known here?
At Timo's palace? There's probably someone who knows you. I don't think Timo knows me, but I think there's probably some employees here who would recognize me.
Okay, cool. And we know that Grimm is known, right? Because Grimm is a gunlugger. Have you worked for Timo, or have you just been offered work for Timo that you've refused?
I think I've worked for Timo before.
Nice. And are you the kind of work that you've done? Have you been an enforcer for some of his shipments that go to other places? Have you hunted down people who annoyed him? What do you imagine is the work you did?
Yeah, I think I'm more of a like hunter seeker, finder, problem solver than a guard for him most of the time.
Sounds good. I like.
He has enough Gamorreans.
It's true. He does. He does. He may not for much longer, but for right now, he does. You guys come. Oh, sorry.
I thought of an answer to Sundown's question.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I think Grimm came to Tatooine because he heard that there was someone here who served in the Clone Wars, and he's looking for the original clone because he wants.
Oh, nice. That's
So he
really
doesn't
cool.
know it, but he's looking for Django.
Yeah, cool.
That is cool. I like that. We're gonna have to work that in. That's pretty cool. As you guys present yourselves, of course, the big eyeball thing comes out, and then they recognize you in the door. The gates come up, and sunlight starts spilling in, and you guys head through the reception room. And I'm not gonna have a major domo who is a Twi'lek, so I'm gonna click across, take a look, and see what would be a cool. Does anyone have a species in our little species
Togruta.
name? What?
Togruta.
A Togruta? Okay, well, we're having some like heavy. We've got 2 Togrutas in scenes. I like it. Good. So we will go with another Togruta. We'll say that it's Zabrir Bis. He is the major domo for Timo, and he recognizes you immediately, Grim, and he says, "Oh, Grim, thank you. I'm very happy to have you. Timo will be so pleased that you have come. He was just speaking to me about possibly calling upon your services."
Well, that's perfect, because we came here to speak to him.
Lovely. Of course he is available to you. One of his favorites. Sundown, yes? I'm making a
Yes,
point
that's
to
right.
know. That's okay. You are Sundown. I remember you. Are you looking for work? Are you here with Grim?
Yes. I might not have the obvious military experience that Grim has, but I have ways that I can be helpful. If you know my name, you might have heard of them.
Are you saying that the rumors are true? That you have some powers? He lowers his voice and kind of
Powers.
looks around. It's not a thing he wants to talk about openly.
You could say that, yeah.
Well, these are dark times. If Grim thinks that you are worthy of traveling with him, then far be it from me to say otherwise. Welcome to Timo's palace. Come, friends, I will guide you myself. This is a big deal, evidently. And he will walk you down through, so the doors open up and you start walking down the grand hallway. You guys, I'm looking at the map that I'm not showing you, so I'll show you the map. So you walk down the grand hallway and you can hear the sounds of jazz music echoing down the hall. Obviously, there's a live jazz band that's playing here at the Cantina Bar. And it is not Max Rebo, but it's a group that does a pretty good Max Rebo impression. And so the music kind of echoes down. And as you guys head through the grand hallway and come down the steps, you see there on his little palanquin is none other than Timo the Hutt, who is an impressive Hutt. Older than you might have anticipated, Sundown. But he's smoking from like the giant hookah, and he looks across and he says, "Oh, look here. We have Grim. Come. It's good to see you again." And the palanquin kind of floats up a little bit. He hovers over to come a little closer to you. I'm wondering, do you think he has a Kowakian monkey lizard? That's a salacious crumb. Do you think he has one of those, or do you think he doesn't have one?
I think he has something else that is
else.
kind of similar, but like a different species. Maybe it's just like a, maybe it's more monkey-like.
Nice.
But also loud, or no, it's feathered. It's like a parrot, but it's like a space parrot. So it has both, wings and hands.
Nice. Now, one thing that is definitely different about Timo's palace, he doesn't have anybody who is chained or shackled in any way. This is different. Like, this has changed over the last year or so, as he has started to kind of emancipate and then rehire the people that were his slaves. And the initial fear was, oh no, what's going on? What's going on? Is he gonna like is he gonna lose money now that he actually has to pay them? But everything seems to have kind of evened out for Timo and worked out to a degree. And he said, well, Jabba needs slaves. I don't need slaves. People want to work for me, was what Timo's explanation was to the people of Mos Shuta. And it kind of sort of turned out that they don't hate it because it's nice and cool in here. This is as close to air conditioning as Mos Shuta gets. There's enough shade. There's enough forced air that's going on here that while, yes, there are Gamorreans, which means that it doesn't smell incredibly good, there's enough incense that kind of wafts by to mask that to a degree. And so this is a relatively pleasant place to be. And Timo comes up in his little floating palanquin to come nearer to you, Grim, and he says, oh, these are dark times. Very dark times. It is good that you are here. Very good.
Timo, Your Excellence. So you know why I'm here then?
I hope that you have information about all the Imperials. I know of your history. Perhaps you can sway them to go away. They cause trouble here. We take care of our own.
Yes, well, I was hoping you could help me take care of them. I don't know why they're here.
Don't know. Eh? I have some eyes and I have ears in Mos Shuta, you know. But I don't know what they are looking for yet. It's not good. 4 squads. It's a large force. Anything the Imperials will commit to Tatooine? Sure. Me and mine, we could kill 4 squads. But then what do they send? I heard they have walking machines. Giant mechanics. Atats. They could kill all the people of Mos Shuta. If I just kill these stormtroopers. Need to find what they want.
I would also argue that we only need to kill one of them. The lieutenant.
Kind of floats back a little bit. The music dims down a bit. And you see there are a number of people who are paying attention. There are other folks. Like, this is the place where the favored, the friends of Timo come here to kind of talk out their business. So there are folks that are like working out deals, merchants that are talking through things, and they will quiet down because when Timo talks, you do not want to piss him off. But yeah, that is very interesting. Timo tilts his head back. Who is this? Who are you talking about?
She's a special operative. I met her when I was working for the Empire. If she's here, she's looking for something special. But if she's gone, then I think things will go back to normal.
If I may interject, if it's known that someone from Mos Shuta killed her, we still may get a retaliation. But if a fellow Imperial were to kill her,
what you say, it makes sense, but how you get Imperial to do our work for us? The Imperials who are doing what I wanted, they were in spaceport control. They are dead now.
I got the impression that some of her subordinates are not pleased with her style of command.
There's somebody we can work on then.
I have a friend who has, I believe, some influence over some of her people.
I like the way you think. And then that's when Zabrabis comes over and kind of whispers into his ear, and he says, Sundown. Sundown, I like the way you think. Good. Good. So, what would it take? Grim, Sundown, you turn this to our advantage. Save all of Moshuta.
I think Grim pipes up and says some number of credits that makes sense. And a little help procuring some special items, maybe.
Cool. I think you are trying to manipulate him for some credits. We'll say 5 credits, maybe? 5 jingle, effectively.
Okay.
And you're not great at this, so maybe Sundown should try to help you.
Yeah. I'm thinking that I don't actually have a move for it, but because I don't think I don't think going aggro would be the right approach here. However, actually, I could read a person. That's a thing I can do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to read Timo and see what, like, if there's some trick behind this, or what exactly he wants out of this. Because okay, we all want to get rid of Muckwell, but he's a crime lord. He wants something more than that.
Okay.
Once again, I'm really glad I can roll weird with that, because that's another 7.
Wow. Okay. Whew, squeak. What's your one question?
My one question. I mean, I know who's in control here. Oh, well, it's a weird person anyway. Never mind. What does your character intend to do?
I mean, he intends to push on you guys to pursue this solution because it's the best solution he's been offered. So whatever it is that Grim asks for, he's going to try to give close to what he can afford to do, because he is pretty desperate to take care of this without having to resort to bringing his forces out. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's good.
Cool. So, Grim, let's see you.
Yeah, let's roll my terrible.
Do it. Wow. It's just like the
Something I
one of the
rolled
two
last time.
change places.
Yeah.
It's good though.
So that's the worst I could roll. That's pretty much.
You could have rolled Snake Eyes.
That's true.
Just because you rolled effectively a modified 1 on 2d6.
I was going to ask if my read a person helped, but it still would only bring it up 1 anyway. So never mind.
Mostly if you roll a 10 in second edition, if you roll a 10 on help, you can give a +2.
Oh, okay. But
Still
I
screwed.
So.
But good to know. Ask. Oh, it's manipulate. Sorry. So you just miss, and he chuckles. Grim. Okay. I pay you what you want, but you get 1 day. We need this quick, yes? 1 day you take care of Muckwill.
Grim side eyes Sundown and looks back to Timo and shrugs. All right.
He looks to his major domo. See, this why I like Grim. He work fast, he efficient, worth every credit.
The longer Muckwill's here, the more damage she does.
Good. You need anything while you're here?
Let me get back to you on that as we get our plan in motion.
Okay. Okie dokie. Good. and then the music picks back up again, and we will fade out of that scene to see what Janila wants to ask of the read a sitch question.
All right, what should I be on the lookout for?
You should be on the lookout for the Electro Whip, which so here's the thing. You see on the inside. Oh, good. You see on the inside of her palm that Muckwill has some kind of cybernetic implant. She can basically call that thing to her.
Okay.
So setting it way far away on a desk is just to make someone else feel like they're not under threat, but she can snap that thing to her in the blink of an eye.
No problem.
So that's what she'd be on the lookout for, because she's about to whip the living poodoo out of Sergeant Grom right in front of you.
What I think I'd like to do, I feel like, as she's squaring off with him, I mean, I want to grab it and quick whip her with it, try to choke her with it from behind.
Wow, I think you need to do something under fire.
All right, is it under fire or is it lay down fire? Guys, I'm trying to
fire.
Yeah, it's under the battle moves. I'm trying to do a support move.
Yeah, lay down fire. I think that you can lay down fire once you have something to lay down fire with, but you really need to act under fire to snag the whip. Does that seem fair?
No problem. Cool. I was looking at all these crazy battle moves. I was like, "Am I the bait?"
Oh yeah, we'll try to tickle into those.
The subterfuge thing could also work. I don't know. But no problem. It's plus cool, right? +1.
It is.
Well, there is also a 9.
Oh, okay. On a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. So you realize, as you reach for the Electro Whip, that you can get it and likely hold it. That you're stronger than whatever magnetic pull she would have to try to pull that whip to her.
Mm-hmm.
But you are the first one making an attack. And so by snatching this away from her, you also snatch away Sergeant Grom's excuse to defend himself.
Okay.
Which means you'll diffuse this situation from resorting to violence?
All right, then. Then no, I will not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wanted to resort to violence.
Okay, cool. So you start to reach for the Electro Whip. She snaps her wrist and it comes flying up to her hand. And Sergeant Grom tries to reach across and grab her hand but she is too quick. She kicks the chair back and she Electro Whips him. And the thing comes out in this tendril with electricity crackling all over it. He falls back in pain and screams and drops to the deck. And she whips him again.
Well, I would like to interrupt that.
Okay, yeah.
I presume the collar that I put on has a chain, so I want to do the Leia thing and choke her with it.
Oh, okay. It sounds like you are trying to do some battle of some kind.
Yeah.
Now I think you might be laying down fire.
Lay down fire? No problem.
Yeah, well, normally that's with a gun, but I think this could work.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm sure, I don't think I technically have my rapier with me, but
it's too bad.
I could have made it work with some bullshit explanation, but I didn't think
about it. You need to put a bow on it, and it's part of your act.
Ooh, only a 4.
Oh.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I still get the XP. On a miss, I choose 1, though.
Yep. You sure?
Let's see. Act freely, denying another. All right, I provide, I guess, because I don't know how much harm a chain would do around her throat, but because it'd be -1 if that. So I would provide suppressing fire, denying another character to move or act freely.
Okay.
So I feel like that makes sense.
So you provide suppressing fire, denying another character to move or act freely.
Yeah, like
So-
I'm literally choking her with a chain, so I feel like that makes sense.
Okay, awesome. And you're denying her the ability to continue whipping
Yeah.
Sergeant Grum. Cool. I like that. However, it's a miss. So here's what happens.
Oh yeah, totes.
You lace that chain around her neck. She stops and reaches up to grab that. As you pull back, you feel your feet lift up off of the floor. And you feel as if some kind of invisible hand has grasped you.
I know.
And it starts to squeeze. And so you can continue choking her, but you have the very strong impression that this force will continue to squeeze you harder until you let go. And Muckwell makes it clear by saying, if you let go, I will let go. Take 2 harm.
I know.
What do you do?
Now's a tough decision. I got it in advance. Do I take what I wanted, or do I take the thing that protects me? Well, what's the sergeant doing while I'm doing this? Like,
He's recovering
yeah.
and trying to grasp for his blaster carbine, but he just took a lot of everything's kind of disconnected for him. He was tasered, so it's going to take him a moment or two to recover. But his intent is pick up gun, shoot Muckwell to save the woman he loves.
All right, 2 harm taken. Let's see. I guess I gotta let go, but at least I have her attention.
Yes, you certainly do. So you let go, and the squeezing stops, and she she steps forward and gestures with a hand, and the doors open up. And that's when Grom stands up with the blaster carbine, and several stormtroopers come in to her office. And
that's when I start taking off some clothes.
Okay, yeah.
And only Grom is unaffected.
Oh man. Okay, arresting Skinner, used for murders. That's great. Good. So we're gonna cut away from you.
Totally.
Because if I remember correctly, Tella, after talking to Doro, you decided that you wanted to head towards the starport? Spaceport control?
Yeah. Just to be clear, she's thinking of giving herself up.
Great. That's good. This is perfect. So you've given yourself up.
Yeah, well, I think at the start I just say, like, I know the sympathizer. I don't think I specifically said. I still have like kind of my mask and goggles on, but I think
good. So yeah, both of the troopers who are here at the front, they will guide you in. Like, they're not going to immediately arrest you because you just came to give information. You're just a helpful citizen. They can arrest you later if they need to. Mm-hmm. And as they bring you around, you are taken into the spaceport control towards the office, and you get to witness a stormtrooper sergeant who has a blaster carbine on Muckwell. You see Janila with a chain in her hand. She's kind of been dropped to the ground, and it looks like this sergeant is intending to shoot Muckwell. What do you do?
I want to read this situation that I didn't expect to be happening.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Roll more sharp.
The hell is happening? Race on a bike. Boy. Unless Janelle wants to help, that's a 6.
I'll gladly help.
I think our eyes just meet, and
How does one help? It's a roll.
Oh, that's great.
right?
You roll plus the HX you have with that person. So you've got a 3 with Tele. You roll 2d6 plus 3, and if you're successful, you give a +1 or a +2.
It's 5 and 8 plus 3, so 10 plus.
Okay, fantastic. You get a +2, so you're at an 8.
If you on a 10 plus, they take +2 to help or -2 to interfere, so +2 to help.
cool. Yeah. So so I don't miss. That's the important part.
No, you do not miss.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need to know there's
Like you're looking, and then like I see you just out the doors, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna help you out, even though so you're not distracted by my stripping.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone. Okay.
You get 3 questions.
Whoa. Well, no, I only get to. I went from a 6.
Oh, sorry,
plus
7 to
3.
9. Sorry, it was the 10 plus on the help. Yeah, you're right. 1 question.
Yeah. So, what should I be on the lookout for?
What should you be on the lookout for? That is a great question. So the things that you should be on the lookout for. This, you know, Imperial regs well enough that this sergeant, when he shoots Muckwell, his career is over because he just shot a superior officer. Chances are that Muck will be hurt greatly, but she could be healed, especially since you're an angel. I don't know if that's a thing that would bother you or not. But the main thing that you should be on the lookout for is that you sense the Force. The dark side of the Force is strong with Muckwell.
Did I know Muckwell?
I don't know. Do you know Muckwell?
I
think it'd be great if you did.
Oh gosh. I can do something that's quite on brand with every character I make. In that. Oh shit. Ooh. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to do a thing here. Okay. All right. So we can't. So what I'm getting basically is can't really just shoot her. She'll survive probably.
Totally.
Well, the thing is, I don't have any. My very first thought was to try and shoot her. Because I don't know, but I guess those Imperials just let me waltz in with a gun. All I'll do is 2 harm. I don't know if that'll kill her.
And then let me just say something on a meta level. I am not precious about my NPCs. This is Apocalypse World. If you guys would kill an NPC, that NPC will die. It doesn't solve your problems because it is also Apocalypse World. But she, if this is a thing where you want to draw down on her and you are successful, there's no caveat. There's no Deus Ex Machina. She gone down. Just not encouraging you. Just want to make sure that you don't feel like, oh, Rich will be worried that he killed, but I don't care. None of these characters are precious to me. You guys are precious because I'm fans of your characters.
Okay. All right. I'll shoot her. I think, everyone's distracted. And I think, I'll draw my gun. And I think our eyes are going to meet at this moment. That's when I take off my goggles. And I don't know. I know who Muckwell is. She might recognize me.
Yeah. What was the name again? I didn't write it down because I got so excited.
Arya.
Son, what was the last name again?
Sunfell.
That's a good name. I like that a lot. Sweet. So you strip off your kind of plague mask and goggles type deal and fire upon her. I think. So this is always the thing of Apocalypse World, like the one point where I always make sure that we flow through the moves appropriately. Going aggro is where you try to get somebody to do a thing. You're just shooting her.
Yeah.
Which because she's distracted, I don't even think you're necessarily doing something
Yeah, she
under
can't
fire
have it.
against her.
Hmm.
I think you just swap harm. Now,
Okay.
it could be do something under fire because guess what? These other troopers will be like, they're going to react to you shooting their boss, who they may or may not love. But I think that's a separate thing. You get to do the thing. So you're going to just shoot her?
Yeah. I think our eyes meet, and yeah, she recognizes me. I recognize her. I just say like, "Sorry, Morelia," and yeah.
Oh man. I think there's a moment where she recognizes you, and there may be even a little hope, like, oh, but then you shoot her. So when an NPC takes harm, your weapon does 2 harm. So when NPC takes harm, 2 harm is wounds, unconsciousness, bad pain, broken bones, shock, likely fatal, occasionally immediately fatal. You shoot her in the chest, and she drops to the ground, but she's not dead yet.
Does the sergeant also shoot her?
That is the question I was going to ask: is do you intervene in the sergeant shooting her, or is this where he?
Well, that's I want to like as I'm stripping, I want to speak to the others that are distracted by me. Like she's gone mad. Look, she attacked him for no reason. And I'm pointing out the electro whip stuff because I want to try to manipulate the other soldiers to realize that this is him defending himself.
Cool. And then
should I roll for that?
Yeah, you should roll the manipulate, and I will depend on him firing, because if you fail, then
is it 12? So
wow, you're really good at this.
I'm really hot, guys.
It's true.
And apparently good at rolling specifically that move.
You are specialized.
But like the dice roll higher for it.
I know, it's weird. It's like they know that they'll get pluses, so they just go for it. He shoots her. Lieutenant Morella Muckwell is shot again, and then he shoots her again.
Yeah, he's trained.
Just to make sure. He walks over, he kicks her body over, and kneels down. The other troopers are watching their sergeant. This is basically the commanding officer right this moment. And they've listened to you with your amazing manipulative powers. And so they have not fired on you. Tella, what do you do, Tella, as you see what's going on right now?
I'm gonna put the gun away and walk over to the sergeant. See how he's doing, because I didn't expect this to happen.
Cool.
But I did see
helmet's off. His helmet's off. You can see that his one of his eyebrows is singed badly. He's taken some kind of He's been electrocuted. So it's pretty obvious. He has some burns across his face. He's not in awesome shape.
Soldier, are you okay?
Doesn't matter. I did my duty.
Poor Hoshi's here too.
Yeah. Hoshi's just kind of in the corner. She still has her little collar on, and she just like, this is the craziest.
What do you expect to happen now, soldier?
Be brought up on charges. Jumped out of the military. Probably spend the rest of my life in some spice mine on Kessel.
I think I gotta shoot a brief glance at Janella and then back to the soldier and says, "How old are you, soldier?"
20 cycles.
there's still time. There's still hope. I think Nutella gives her a look and says, "Soldier." I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this because, there's a lot of witnesses who saw him shoot his commanding officer. Can't.
How many people liked and respected her?
The thing is, also, they probably saw I shot first. And I think, that's what I say. Like, soldier, as far as people saw, Lieutenant Morelia Muckwell wasn't killed by someone as promising as you. Instead, she was killed by Commander Arya Sunfell, former Chief Medical Officer of the Star Destroyer Annihilator. I think I kind of pulled my gun and I just just make the point. No, I'm not pointing at her. I'm just pointing at the gun, just to make the point.
He stands up and looks at the few stormtroopers that are still not entirely sure what's going on they don't seem to completely follow all of this conversation. More stormtroopers arrive, and we cut outside to Grim and Sundown. The door to spaceport control is wide open, and there are no guards. What do you do?
It's almost like someone did their job for us.
Less than a day.
Go in. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as soon as I see no one guarding their post, I start to hustle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hoshi comes creeping around the corner and sees the two of you, and she just ducks down onto the ground. I don't know what happened. She starts crawling away. And we cut back to Sergeant Grome. He looks. I need to arrest you.
Tera nods and drops the gun at his feet and gives Lieutenant Muckwell this a lingering look and kind of puts her hands behind her head.
He'll direct the stormtroopers to pat you down, and then he starts looking through his data pad for information to find Arya Sunfell and all of the outstanding warrants for your arrest for going absent without leave, and your charges for being insubordinate. And Grim, you and Sundown come in to see Janila and Tella and a dead Muckwell, and all of the stormtroopers are not shooting anyone about this because there's a pretty bad electrocuted stormtrooper sergeant who's standing there calmly looking through a data pad for information while Tella's being arrested. Sundown, what do you do?
Well, half of our job is done. On the other hand, if Tella takes the fall for this, is that's just as likely to make Moshida a target, which is what we were trying to avoid. Well, I mean, I think I have to read a sitch here because even though I, as a player, know what's going on, as a character has no clue.
Sure, and yeah, let's roll. Let's see how this goes. This will be fun.
It'll be extra fun if I completely misinterpret it. I was almost going to do that deliberately, but Yeah. Well, I didn't need to do it deliberately because that's 4 plus sharp is a 4.
Yeah.
Well, good news is you get an
I can only
XP
do
because
with
you
6, so.
sharp was highlighted, so you get an XP. Don't forget that. Yay, you get an XP. It's awesome. You still get a question.
That's right, I do.
Be prepared for the worst.
Yep. I mean, I think my real question here, stumbling onto this scene, is who is in control here?
Janila is in control here.
You know, I think that would be the conclusion I came to anyway, wouldn't it?
I try to tell the truth as an
knowing
MC.
Janila.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you get a read of the situation. You hear over the comms. 3 other stormtrooper sergeants are on the comms trying to check in with Grom and try to get a situation, a sit rep. So I'm curious, Grim, what are you doing right now as you come into this mess?
I think I'd like to read a person. I'd like to read Grom. Because him now being the highest ranking person here, and my goal being to install a willing Imperial at this spaceport. That's who I'm going after at the moment. So
All right, roll plus sharp, and don't forget that's highlighted for you, so you'll get an XP, pass or fail.
yeah, I got a 9. Well,
Okay,
that's better
cool.
than 2.
Get a question.
I'm trying to think of a way I can help you. It's hard when
That's
you
true. You could push you up to some more questions if you could help.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I think like you can see that Janilla's like just very close to the sergeant and like whispering in his ears, and maybe that could work as helping.
I'm good with it. Roll your HX with Grim. And I think I said Grom. Let's say Grom, so that at least my brain can differentiate. I said Grim or Grom earlier.
Is it
I
10
need
plus
Grom.
again?
Holy crap! You're so good at helping. You're so helpful. You're just a helper. So that will push you to an 11.
Sweet.
You get 3 questions.
Okay. I mean, I have to ask, what does your character intend to do?
Cool. So Grim, you have seen the 4 squads that arrived. You know that Sergeant Grom is not the highest ranked sergeant here. He is the highest ranked person in this physical location right now. But as soon as one of the other sergeants, who's effectively like a gunnery sergeant, shows up, he'll be the guy who's in charge. So what does he intend to do? He's going to turn himself in. He's going to tell the story of the Arya Sunfell is the person who shot, but that he also shot. And he's gonna trust the courts. Like he's going to believe in the organization, that the military organization that he represents. And he's going to go down.
All right.
However, the good news for you is that Arya Starfell is considered Imperial. So if the Imperial on Imperial violence is true, just so you know.
Yeah. How could I get Grom to, I guess, what's the way to word this? How can I get Grom to I guess give up his Imperial ideals?
Ooh. You see the way he relates to Janila? He's in love with her, and if he thought that it could be reciprocated, if he thought that she needed him, he would throw away all of those ideals for her.
Awesome. I think I'll keep that last hold for now.
Okay. There is hold, so yeah. Good. So
Is it has I gotta look up his name.
Gronk.
I wish it was just Gronk. It's so much easier for me.
Gronk
But,
is such a good idea. If only
that wasn't like a droid or something. Has he made it because I heard him and Tella talking. Is he made it known he's gonna turn himself in?
he's about to report in to the other sergeants right now.
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna do the lingering handhold. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's true that Arya Sunfell was the first shot, but I also shot a superior officer.
Well, but she attacked you. She was the first shot. And if you do this, I need you and Tella both in my lives. If you're both locked up, we can never be together.
Oh, please manipulate him.
Yeah.
Take a +1 forward because he's in love with
you. 6
Tella
and a
is
1.
rolling her eyes, even as she's kneeling down.
Rolling her eyes is great.
+1 forward is a 10+. So
jeez. He looks up at the stormtroopers and he says, "Listen, there are other troopers on the way to secure this facility. You need to take that prisoner and put her in our makeshift brig right now." And then they step to and start escorting her away. And he looks at you. What do you want me to do, Janila?
Well,
I am not the superior officer here. There are no officers here. That was our officer.
Then we need to get out of here and then find a way to break her out.
He looks over at Grim and over his sundown. And yeah, Tella, you're being dragged away by stormtroopers. They have basically created a brig that is not really a fitting brig. It's in the side entrance. They've just kind of sealed off the side entrance to this place. It's effectively a place with a table and a small, it's almost like a break room for the Star Control. That's the brig that you're thrown into by these stormtroopers right now. He says, they track the APCs. We can't take the troop transport. We need a speeder. Slagworks has a few operational speeders.
We just need to get to the palace.
The hut?
Yeah.
Okay. He calls on the comms and he says, there's been an attack here, Starport Control. We need to lock down the electrified fence. We need to secure the perimeter of Mos Shuta. The killer is not here. We need to comb the streets and find them. I am going to Timo's palace to attempt to locate the assassin. And the other sergeants report back the sectors that they're locking down. And where we are with time, I think we will end with all of you except for Tella heading towards Timo's palace quickly. And Tella in a break room right by a dispenser of fizzy pop and a couple of stormtroopers. And so that will be the end of our session. At the end of every session, we have a few little bits here. At the end of every session, choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, choose one at your whim. Tell that player to add +1 to their HX with you on their sheet. So I will start with Tella. Tella, who knows you better? I think everyone, but you get to choose one.
Oh, I choose who knows me better.
Yep, and then they add +1 to the HX they have marked towards you on their sheet.
Yeah. I think it's definitely Janelle because I think she's the only one who's close enough to have heard my actual name. and that's knowing Tella way more than
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So my HX goes up
to a 4, which rolls over to a +1. You get an XP and you get a question.
All right. Yeah, think of a question. Is there a list of questions?
No, it is completely open-ended. You can think about it. We can ask it over the intervening week if you want.
Yeah, I'll think about it. 2
Okay.
weeks, right? Aren't we not playing next week?
We're playing next week.
I'm not playing. I think the next game's the 24th. Well, for me.
Yeah, I think maybe your next game is the 24th.
Yeah.
I've got a game on the 17th.
Okay, I'm not here next week, so.
Okay. You can't make it?
No, I'll be in New York.
Oh, okay.
I was never signed up for it anyway, so.
Yeah. I didn't see you signed up. I thought maybe you. But yes. All right. So in 2 weeks you will ask that question. I got some newbies. Got some new blood and a brand new situation. This is gonna be fun.
It's got to be. Well, I guess what happened? Who's Arya Sunfell and what happened?
Oh, that's good. Good question.
Oh, that's a big question. That's a big question. Who's Arya Sunfell? That's a big question. I need to think over.
No problem.
All I have really is a name, and a relationship to Muckwell. That was really
Sounds good.
All I've come
Yeah,
up with.
I love that question and admire that it was asked. So cool. We'll get that answer in a couple of weeks, or maybe we get it and we get it again. So let's see, Grim. Who knows you better?
I know I did Sundown last time, but that's really the only person I interacted much with. So we're gonna do Sundown again.
All right. And then Janila, who knows you better?
Oof. I don't know. Let's, because I did Tila last time. I think I want to say Sundown knows me better.
Nice. And then Sundown, who knows you better?
It has to be Grim, I think.
Well, hopefully next session we'll break up and we won't have just the pairs like we did. All right, cool. Yes.
Give you a heads up of the advance that I took.
Yes.
The followers and fortunes thing. So I've got an entourage now.
Oh, good.
I'm working it out.
That works great. That's just great. That's great. Cool. Well, we have a little bit of time, so I'd love to do Roses and Thorns, friends. Let us do that thing. So we will start with Leandro. What thorns did you have from today's session? What could have been better? What was perhaps not as good as you'd like? What was confusing? Where were missed opportunities?
Not terribly sure. I think yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe not a real thorn. It's just I didn't expect things escalate to the point where I'd have to figure out who Tella was before in a period of time. It's like I already had the name. Well, actually, no, I didn't have the name. I had the name an hour ago, and the whole oh shit, there's Imperials. Okay, I had to come up with a name. Here, find a name generator. There we go. That's good enough. I think I just didn't expect it. I was expecting it to be a bit of a slow burn, but I'm interested. I'm fine with this pace. It just came out of nowhere. It's like it's way more fast paced than I thought a 5-parter was going to be.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else, Leandro?
Yeah, I think those are just my thorns. Do you need me to do Roses now, or
no? I think we'll circle back around. So I will jump over to Joshua. Joshua, what thorns did you have from today's session?
I think the only one was kind of what you hinted at with. I wish we had more time for all the characters to interact. I didn't intend for us to pair off again. It just kind of worked out the way the plot was going. So I'm looking forward to having more time with all the other characters.
Me too. Awesome. And then we will go to Joe. what thorns did you have that I will
Uh,
not have to act on until next session? Because
yeah,
or after next session.
similar, like the same. We ended up in pairs again, which was fine.
Dude, let me ask a question. Like, how could I have avoided
There was
that?
no way to avoid it, so I don't.
Okay, good.
It's just the way the fiction followed. So
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
like
Cool.
you
And I
didn't.
wasn't trying to sound defensive.
went
was
off.
just like,
And then Tila's like, "Well, I want to go there for a separate reason entirely, not realizing." So yeah, like there was it's nothing you could really do. So it was a great game, no thorns.
that's not what I was asking for. I was just looking for actionable. I was just trying to figure out how I could have been better. But anyways, good. Thank you very much, Joe. And then Bethany.
Yeah. If there's any thorns, it's for me because I don't know. I couldn't figure out anything interesting to do most of the time. So, and I didn't want to do anything non-interesting. So, sorry, I didn't contribute a whole lot.
Okay, I didn't perceive that. I always felt you as like this looming threat. I really enjoy. I like Sundown a lot. I love the way you're playing the character is like sneaky and unobtrusive. Most brainers are very front and center or hiding, and you're always hiding in plain sight. And I'm sorry to talk you out of your thorn, but like I have such a clear mental image of that character that like I thought.
Oh, I'm glad. At least, At least I'm giving. At least I'm a looming threat. That's fine. That's cool. If I'm contributing that, I'm good. Even if I'm not actually like, even if I'm not actually having a whole lot of effect on the story, looming threat's good enough.
Okay. We'll work on that. So we'll stick with you for roses. This is where you can give positive feedback to other players for things they did that you liked, or talk about specific moments in the game that will stick with you as highlights.
Yeah, I have to go with Janila's like, I'm just gonna start taking my clothes off, which is like not a thing. Even if I were playing a Skinner, I would not have thought to do that in the middle of like this situation. Oh, there's a stormtrooper pointing a gun. I think I'm clearly gonna take my clothes off now. But like, hey, you work with what you have, and that is what Janila has.
It's true. Awesome, Joe. What roses did you have?
Thank you. I really loved the Timo scene with Grim and Sundown. It was like let's go there. They'll help us deal with the Imperials because they don't want this either.
That was so good.
And a follow-up, Bethany, like I played the Skinner once before, and it was a massive battle, and this was my first time playing Apocalypse Sword. I'm like, can I just do this and walk across the battlefield and not get hurt? They're like, yeah, you can totally do that. So I was like, yep, okay.
Good. Thank you, Joe. Joshua, what roses did you have to hand out?
I wanted to rose your Grom. I really appreciated the nuance you added. Like, I think I wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, the Stormtrooper Sergeant's going to be one of the most interesting characters in this session, but he turned out to be really, really awesome. And then also Leandro, just for going all the way there with the shooting our main adversary in the chest. So
proud of you. You did it, Leandro. You killed the bad guy.
Complicated.
So good.
We're like worse off than we were when we started.
Yep.
No, we have history. Okay.
We don't have a Force user here, so we're good.
How is a brainer not a Force user in this game?
We don't have an Imperial Force user to deal.
That's true. That's always a benefit. Awesome. Thank you, Joshua and Leandro. What roses did you have to hand out?
Y'all kind of hit the roses I was prepping in my head. It's like, that scene with Timo, I love that Grim's like, here's the thing, we just kill her, and Sundown's like, maybe we shouldn't. We should have a bit better plan than that. I love that. Like, it's a bit of a looming threat. Yeah, just like in the margin, Sundown's like, these are all kind of. No, don't do that. No, and just coming at the right moment to like clarify the scenes. I love it. Janelle is such a force of nature. That's why she was a crime lord in Mos Eisley when Jabdat was alive. Because fucking hell, everyone's just everyone falls out there. It's great. And I'll say I wanted to shout Sergeant Chrome as well, but just your NPCs, Rich, are just really cool. Like I love Timo. I love all the little details you have there. Sergeant Chrome, this dipshit young. I'm gonna cite a political party from my country here. Young Fine Gael proto-fascist loser. Dipshit. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I just love this. This world just feel this little slice of Tatooine just feels very like just lived in and dangerous, and it's great.
Good. I'm so pleased, and I am kicking myself, so I'm gonna like insert. I'm retconning a thing. First of all, Rose, you guys, I really enjoyed the scenes and the choices. Like, oh well, I'm gonna shoot the person, or oh well, let's go talk to Timo the Hutt and get him to do our dirty work. All of these things were fun. I don't normally run like mysteries because I'm terrible with them personally, but seeing Sundown trying to figure out what's going on, having Tella go and talk to Acevedo and then also make him screw him over was great. But the retcon that I wanted to throw in is that at Timo's palace in the background is a particular NPC, and this is the NPC that I had them in the NPCs in places, but in that full gear, like in the straight up bounty hunter type gear, is a Leppy. So a Leppy is actually, it's Tebby, the Leppy that is from a previous game that has been trained up as a bounty hunter, and she's now a full on bounty hunter there working for Timo. So I just want to stick that in because I just love that character. She was fun. So thank you guys so much. This was splendid. I will miss you next week, Joe.
I have a quick mechanics question when we get around to 2 weeks. Because this move at the beginning of session, it's a tag. What does a desertion mean as a surplus for this fortunes and followers move?
Desertion means that
it's a want of theirs.
Yeah, it's a want. So what it means is that just for no really good reason, some of your followers may just leave you.
Oh, okay.
They just walk off like, oh, well, this other thing. Oh, my aunt called. Sorry, I had a thing.
Yeah. No problem.
They just desert you. You can't count on all of them. That's the want.
Right.
That's fair.
Like a bunch of druggies. They're just like,
they're fans. They can be fickle.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Janila's spending, a whole session off, gathering her followers, it's not like she's been here long to inspire a ton of loyalty. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Plus, like they don't follow me anyway. That's the thing I chose. They live in their own communities. I just have fans,
Right. Yeah, that's appropriate. It tracks. Good. This was splendid, friends. Thank you so much for giving me your Saturday morning / afternoons based on your time zone. We will meet back up in a week. Sans Janila, the force of nature, and we'll introduce Steve Watkins, who's played many an awesome character in Star Wars Saturdays, will be joining us. It's going to be awesome. So we'll do a little character creation. We'll jump straight back into this. You guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm not going to see him.
Hey, right.
He was in all my games thus far.
Oh.